Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today to talk about empties. Now my empties, so overwhelming. This is months and months overdue and this is not even all of it. I've got, whenever I try to fill it up to the top or I move, things just spill out and I've just spent the last like 10 minutes trying to pick up everything from under my bed and under the change table and it's just annoying shit out of me. So I've got a lot of empties. This is about 5 months since I last did my empties video and I was just like, I'm going to do this at the end of the year. I'm just going to wrap up the year and then time just keeps ticking on and then all of a sudden next week is February. So I am going to go through all of these, tell you what I think about them if I remember what I think about them, and also give you a quick number of how many products I used up last year, because I don't think I've really added much to this year, or if I have, it might be like 1 or 2 things. Who really cares? So that's what we're going to do today. All right, I'm going to start with skincare, and I'm going to start with let's start with serums because I got quite a lot of them. Most of these are from Paula's Choice, to be honest, because I like Paula's Choice. It is what it is. Oh my god, how many serums do I have? I've used up this many serums. This many. These are the serums I used up in the past 5 months. Yes, I use serums. I use them day, I use them night. I've also have a face oil in here. Look, I'm going to just say the go-to face hero, a powerful and protective face oil. I didn't rate it. It was just a face oil and I didn't think it was any better than just pure rosehip oil. That's always like, if oil's not better than just rosehip oil, why am I paying as much as they charge for a blend? Like, I just don't like it. It is what it is. Another thing that's not Paula's Choice, this is the Jojoba company, the Probiotic Jojoba milk. This was a very, very milky. It was like, there we go, a little bit left. There, that sort of consistency. Very, very runny, very light. It was quite nice for daytime because it was quite light, but I didn't see it do anything, if that makes sense. But if you want something really light, not at all greasy, you want something like a light, watery sort of lotion thing, this one might be one you want to check out. And the last one that's not Paula's Choice is by I'm From, and it's the Honey Serum. Now, I really liked this. Those last two I wouldn't repurchase. This one I would. This was more of, look, I don't know the ingredients. It is a Korean product. It sort of gave you that sort of silicone slippery feel without it being too much like a silicone primer. So what I liked about this product was that if you wanted your skin to look very sort of smooth and feel nice and smooth, this was a really great one to use. I don't know if it had any like long-term skin care effects, but it was really nice as just like a perfecting, makes your skin look a little bit smoother, makes it feel a little bit smoother, and makeup applied really nicely over it. So I liked this. This was one of those things that on days where I felt a little bit textured or I felt a little bit whatever, I'd put this on and it just sort of glide over my skin and make it feel really nice. So I liked this. I would repurchase that. When it comes to Paula's Choice, I have quite a variety of things here. Probably the ones that I would repurchase the most would be these ones here. In fact, I think I have a backup of this. This is the Intensive Wrinkle-Repair Retinol Serum. Now, this is a low percentage of retinol, so it's not a strong product. It's good for if you're getting just into retinols and you don't want to upset your sort of skin barrier, because retinols can be quite, like high percentage of retinols can be sort of hard for your skin to get used to. This was in a beautiful oil, so it was like a night oil with retinol in it. So if you like an oil, which I do at night, not always, but a lot of the time I do, even with my oily skin, I find that my skin responds really well to oils, like if they're good oils. This one was lovely. I have a backup. I would repurchase that again. This is another retinol. It's a stronger one. This is the 1% treatment. So this is more of a traditional serum, not an oil. This one, when I first started using it, it did give me the retinol ugly. So I did have a bit of peeling, a bit of dry skin, and that was just like your skin shedding the dead skin and increasing the cell turnover. So it does work and I like the effects of it. I also found that it wasn't so harsh that it irritated my skin. Some high percentages of retinols can cause redness and cause contact dermatitis on my eyes, whereas this one didn't do it. So it's a nice effective retinol without it being too harsh, so I do like that. And then I liked the Omega Plus Complex Serum. I don't know what it really did. It was just a nice, pleasant serum that, again, didn't irritate my skin. It made it feel quite nice. It wasn't like super active that the next day I was like, oh, I feel something going on. Like I feel like my skin has been exfoliated or resurfaced or anything like that. It just felt like a nice, nourishing serum, and it was nice on days like in between strong active. So whether it's a acid or a retinol, this is a nice in between one or a nice daytime one. So that I would repurchase that one as well. These next ones I don't care too much about. So I have the Niacinamide 20% treatment. I've heard really great things about this. When I've asked people for Paula's Choice recommendations, this one pops up a lot. For me, I didn't see any results. But I think if you have quite large pores or breakouts, you might really like this. I don't really have that issue at the moment. So I do actually have a backup of this because I got one free in like a later order. But for me, yeah, niacinamide, I know in theory it's great, but I didn't see any drastic results. With the vitamin C, this is the C15 Super Booster, so it's a 15% vitamin C. I don't love vitamin C. I try it occasionally, but vitamin C I often see a lot of redness from. So my skin reacts to vitamin C. So I took this pretty slow. I didn't care for it too much, and I wouldn't repurchase it just because I keep getting reminded that vitamin C is not for me. If it's in like a cleanser or something that I wash off really quickly, it's not a problem, it's great. But as a specific vitamin C product, I have some. I'm going to probably try to use them on my body to get rid of them because I do bring on redness. They upset my skin. From the booster range as well, and essentially the booster range is just like targeted ingredients that you can add to other serums or layer with other serums just to add a boost of whatever you want. This is the hyaluronic acid with ceramides. This is a tiny, tiny bottle. It's 15 mils. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, what did I pay for this 15 mils? Luckily, I can say that like one drop spreads really far. Oh, I got a little bit out. So it's a hyaluronic acid. It looks like a runny sort of gel, and a little bit spreads really fast. So that little drop goes from the top of my hand all the way down here, and I can still feel it on there. So you just need literally a drop of this. So is it a tiny bottle? Yes, but because it does spread, you can really, you know, spread it out thinly, so you don't over apply it and use it up in 2 weeks. So yeah, the size is weird, but it does sort of work. Hyaluronic acid for me, I don't, again, feel like I need it so much because I don't have dry skin. Yes, again, in theory, it's good for your skin, but you really have to decide where do you want to, like you can't put on 17 different serums a day. It's actually, my skin cracks the shits at that. Hyaluronic acid for me is neither here nor there. I don't see great results with it. I know it keeps your skin hydrated, and I drink more coffee than I drink water, which is not a good thing. So I know that I should put more hydration into my skin. Often people mistake having oily skin with having a lot of hydration. Oils and moisture are very different things. If you feel a little bit, I just remember being in hospital and I had to be on like a few drips because for various reasons, I had to be on drips. And I remember afterwards, not only were my ankles and feet swollen like crazy, but my skin was super plump, and I was like, wait, this is what happens if you just get pumped like liters and liters of water into you every day. Maybe I should do this more often. I haven't yet, and I should. So yeah, moisture is water, oils is oils. They're different things. People with dry skin lack oils. You can still be dehydrated with oily skin, which is what I tend to be. So sometimes I try hyaluronic acid. Sometimes I'm like, okay, cool, this is doing something. But in reality, for me, it's neither here nor there. I see better results from other products. If I've got a hyaluronic acid, I will use it, but I don't need it to make my skin look good, if that makes sense. I feel like it doesn't make that much of a difference. I should just drink more water. So yeah, that's that one. Now let's do some moisturizers. Surprise, surprise, I've got a Paula's Choice moisturizer. This is the anti-aging clear skin hydrator with niacinamide and vitamin C. So I'm doubling up with things. This I quite liked. It was a basic moisturizer. I could use it day or night. It was quite thick, but it wasn't oily or greasy. So it felt like you had a layer on that was giving you some sort of comfort and moisture, but it wasn't so thick and greasy that I was like, oh, this is slipping off my skin. It's uncomfortable. I liked it. I would consider repurchasing it. But I don't know. I feel like you can get cheaper moisturizers that are just as good. Yeah, I'm thinking La Roche-Posay, Bioderma, they have some really good things. So if I saw this on sale, yeah, I might pick it up. If it's in a pack, I might pick it up, but I'm not running out to get it. I also use the Clinique Moisture Surge. This is essentially it's like a hybrid with a moisturizer and a gel is how I would describe it. So it's like a gel product, but it's got a little bit more moisturizing, lotiony feel to it than just your typical gel. This is supposed to be very hydrating. Gels tend to hold lots of water, hydration, good. A nice sort of product if you've got oily skin, you don't like the thick oils and creaminess of other moisturizers. This is one that's very popular for a reason. I thought it was fine. I'm not obsessed with it. I probably wouldn't repurchase it unless I saw it on sale or in a pack. Use under or over makeup or as a 5-minute mask. I would just use it as a moisturizer. It is what it is, but it is that sort of very runny gel, wet consistency that is good for summer and good for oily skin. Then I've got the Purito. This is the Dermide Cica Barrier Sleeping Mask. This I think came in a Yes Style advent calendar. It's a Korean brand. I like this. It's a sleeping mask. This is a moisturizer that essentially you put on all your skincare routine and then you layer it over the top to kind of keep everything in overnight. That's what it looks like. So it is like a normal moisturizer, but it does sort of go on and leave a bit of a tacky feel to the skin. So it sort of feels like you've got something on all night. It doesn't just sort of, I don't know, rub away or get absorbed. It does leave a bit of a barrier, which means, yeah, if you've got some nice hydrating ingredients under there or some nice serums on and you want to put this over the top, it really does sort of lock them in and keep them in rather than a normal moisturizer that often gets just absorbed and or rubbed off and you don't see it again. So I like this. I think it was nice. It was a pleasant product to use overnight. Again, I wouldn't rush out to get it. I'm not that obsessed with it, but it was nice to use. If you like the idea of sleeping masks, you know, this one you might want to check out. It was very basic, but it worked. It worked. All right, SPFs. Now I've got 3 here, but I know I used up another one. It was in my... I'm missing products from the conclusion of my last project pan. There's a couple of products in there that I know were in here, or should be in here, but aren't for some reason. Let me have a quick look. Can't find them, but I know of 2. So I'll start with the tinted SPF that I panned last year, and it was from Mecca Cosmetica. So it is I'll put on the screen. I will have it listed in the description box with everything else as well. So if you want to look into it and copy and paste and find it, you can. But essentially it is SPF, but it's got a tint to it. It comes in a variety of different shades. I picked one that I thought suited me. It was sort of like the one below was really, really, really light, and then the one that I got was a little bit darker than what I'd normally want, but it's better than like chalky, powdery looking face. So the SPF I liked the formula of it, but I found that it didn't actually give any coverage. The tint was just like you put on a bit of a fake tan, and it almost gives a little bit of a translucent color to the skin. I want something that has a little bit of coverage as well as color to it. So I put it on and it's masking a little bit of redness. It's masking a little bit of discoloration. I don't want something to just give me what looks like a fake tan bronze effect, which is what this did. So I liked the product. I didn't like the tint. So I'll just buy this to say face SPF, which is what I'm currently using. And if I want to add a tint to it, I put a little bit of concealer in it or mix it over the top, and it works really well. So that one I wouldn't buy again, but I did like the SPF. Ultraviolet, this is just a little mini version of their Extreme Screen Hydrating Body and Hand Sunscreen. I like this. I had this in my beach bag and I used it up really quickly, but it was a very nice sort of, it's SPF 50 plus, and it's also water resistant. So it's a good one for the beach. I didn't find it too greasy, too thick, too bleh. And I also found I like that it also works on your hands, because if I'm going for a big drive, I like to put SPF on my hands when I'm driving. So this was a good one. I liked the little travel size. I was a bit confused at the start. You have to twist the lid and squeeze it out, so it's got a little hole that opens when you twist it. But I would consider buying this in the full size, because I did like it. So there we go, I liked that. This SPF I panned as well last year. It's by Neogen, but it's the Sur.Medic Azulene Mild UV Tone Up Sun Primer. Anyway, it's tinted purple. It makes me look grey. That's all I'm going to say. The product itself is very nice. I like the SPF. I used it by mixing it again with a bit of foundation or concealer to create like a tinted version. But by itself, this color correcting one made me grey. So purple color correcting or purple slightly toned light sunscreens, not good for me, but the blue one's beautiful. I ended up giving that to my mum to encourage her to use SPF every day. She was under the impression that they're gross and greasy, and I'm like, try this, it's lovely. She enjoys it. So even though I would repurchase the blue one, it's not going to come up in an empties for me because I gave it to my mum, but I do enjoy it. So I like the blue one, which is more the clear one. So yeah, there's that, and I would buy that again. The blue one, not the purple one. Dermalogica. I love Dermalogica in general. This sunscreen I didn't like. They have another sunscreen that's really, really good. I'll put it on the screen. That one is like an SPF, but it just feels like a moisturizer. It's really comfortable. It's quite expensive, but it is like, if you want to moisturize, if you want to get into SPF and you're like, I don't want to feel SPF on me, that one is gorgeous. This one, not so much. It's a physical sunscreen, so it is a physical one. The difference, okay, sunscreens are either chemical or physical. Chemical ones, the chemicals in it absorb the UV rays. The physical ones reflect them. So it has ingredients like zinc that actually reflects the rays. The chemical ones tend to be more comfortable because they don't have the thick, greasy feel that is required for physical ones to reflect the rays. So chemical ones tend to be more comfortable, but they also can aggravate some people. Certain ingredients in there can irritate their skin. So yeah, it's just about what works for you. For me, I try physical ones when I'm out in the sun a lot, like if I'm at the beach, because I do feel like that blocking is better than like the absorbing, just psychologically. I don't know if it's actually any better. I think they both work equally as good, but they really break me out. And this one was no different. This one, I thought from Dermalogica, it was going to be one that didn't break me out because their past sunscreens have been fantastic. This one was a bit heavy, bit greasy, bit white. Look, it's not supposed to be white, but it did have a little white tinge to it. And yeah, I found that when I wear these, I get little breakouts. So it's not exclusive to this. It's just physical sunscreens in general. So I ended up using this on my body when I went to the beach, and I wouldn't repurchase this one, but the other Dermalogica one I would because it's great. Those are the SPFs. What's next? Let's talk about hand and foot stuff because I have stuff. All right, hand and foot stuff. I do wear them most nights before I go to bed. I put hand cream on, I put foot cream on, or both, or either, or whatever happens to be. Let's start with this random one. This is the logo is really bad. It's an Australian brand, and it's the Hemp Heel Balm. It's the heel. And it's essentially like a hemp based foot cream. It was quite one of those firm balms that you have to dig into, and it's quite greasy. I didn't really rate it. So I mainly only bought this because I heard some good things about their lip balm and I wanted to buy one for my sister. So I thought while I'm ordering, I'll just order one of these. It does say, try it on cracked heels, you'll be amazed. Was not. I don't have cracked heels. I do have dry heels. I was not amazed. But yeah, it's one of those really sort of thick, greasy balms. I don't know if you can see in here, there's a little bit left. It's like that typical sort of thick, greasy, leaves it very oily residue. So not my favorite foot cream in general, like the format of it, but this one also I was not left amazed, so I wouldn't repurchase that. Neat Feet. This is the foot and heel balm, effective results within days. Again, this is for dry, cracked heels, blah, 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 blah. This is one of those greasy ones, but I liked it better. There was just a better consistency to it. It wasn't just like this slippery, oily stuff. This, I don't know, I just think even though this is not the sort of, I don't like the really greasy balms, this one was better. I would, if I wanted a greasy, thick foot balm, I would go this one. In winter, if I wanted to wear big socks and put a greasy, thick foot balm underneath it, this is the one I'd go for. I prefer this brand, and you can get it at Chemist Warehouse, and you can get it often on sale. So this one I liked more. I would repurchase it, but it's not my daily go-to. My daily go-to is this one here. I've actually got 2 of them because I love it so much. Do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, buy it. You don't have to buy it, but I love this brand. Do It is a great brand in general. Their Foot and Heel Balm Plus, I've got 2 sizes here. I love them. The thing that's different about these is it's a non-greasy barrier that it creates. So it is for dry, rough, cracked heels, blah, 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 but it's more of a gel. And what it does, it creates a coating around your hands and feet, and it doesn't feel greasy, it doesn't feel nasty. You can walk on the carpet without worrying about getting the carpet all oily, and it sort of dries down but leaves like a protective layer that does hydrate your feet. So it's a lot more comfortable. It's a lot more comfortable year round for me, but a lot more comfortable especially in summer. Also the gel, I've got none in here. I used it so, I'm trying to get some out to show you, but I used so much of it, like right down to the very end, that I don't, no, I've got to cut it open to show you. But essentially it's like a thick gel, and yeah, it dries down, it leaves a barrier. It's not greasy, but it is moisturizing, and a good thing as well is it's a little bit cooling, because it's a gel. This is where I put my money. This is what I'm going to repurchase. I'm out of foot cream at the moment, but I'm going to go to Chemist Warehouse and buy like 3 of these because I love them. So Do It is, and you'll see Do It pop up because I like the brand. Speaking of Do It, I've got 2 hand creams here from Do It. So I've got, look, there's one thing I dislike about this, but we'll get onto it. Tough Hands, which is this one, and Tough Hands for Her. I don't know why girls can't use this one. This is the unscented one. It's the original. Same thing as the foot product, but for the hands. I love it just as much. Visible effects within 1 day. I love it. I think this is a great hand cream. Again, it's not sticky. You can drive your car and not be slipping everywhere. You can, you know, this would be perfect if you worked in an office and you're dealing with papers. I remember one thing I hated about that was if you had a hand cream that was really greasy, you'd get like grease marks on paper. This dries down, but it's nice and comfortable. I love it. And then these are more scented ones, and they have more skincare ingredients in them. These come in different scents. The one I have is the pink one, Cherry Blossom, but it also contains like peptides and a few other sort of more skincare ingredients. But this does also come in green tea and a few other scents, so I'd repurchase this. I'd repurchase probably a different scent. I didn't really like the Cherry Blossom too much, but yeah, I love the brand. I love their products. They're great. Let's talk about lip balms, because what do I have in the lip balm category? I have one by Do It. This is the Tough Lips. I wouldn't repurchase this only because I like a lip balm with a bit of fun to it, like a little bit of flavor or a little bit of color or a little bit of something. This was you'd like bog standard, put a lip balm on, you can barely tell you've got a lip balm on besides the fact that you're not chapped and dry. Great for guys or great for people that don't like the look of any makeup. If you've got a partner that's like, I need a lip balm because I've got dry lips, but I also don't want anything that smells like strawberries, adds a tint of pink or adds a shimmer, this is what you go, because it's not even glossy. It almost looks matte, but it just looks hydrated. So good product, I like it, but I reach for something that's a little bit glossy, a little bit sheeny, a little bit something. So good product, but probably not for me. Also tubes like this, my toddler tends to eat them, so they go a lot quicker than I want them to. So if it was in my more of a squeezy tube, I might actually repurchase it for like nighttime. But in the tubes, like here they go. Lana Lips, I've got 2 products from Lana Lips. These are both 101 ointments. One is just the original one, so it's the unscented one. This is a multi-purpose balm. I used it on my nipples when I started breastfeeding, blah, 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 blah. And then since then I've been using it on my lips overnight. It works a treat. Then I also have the strawberry one, so this is just a little bit of flavor added to it. I like them. I have another 1 or 2 next to my bed. I know I've got the limited edition sort of caramel scent one, the Messina collaboration, so I do have another one going. They last forever, so I'll be using that for months and months, and then you'll see it in empties. But I do like them. They're not my favorite balms. They are more of a stickier, sort of thicker lip balm, so I use them almost exclusively overnight. They aren't my favorite overnight balms. I don't know what are though, to be honest. So yeah, I will keep purchasing these kind of things in the future, but I don't know what my favorite balm is. I don't know what it is. I used up a Carmex Sugar Plum Moisturizing Lip Balm. I love Carmex. I've got I think a watermelon one downstairs. This one just had a sugary scent to it, and it's all done. I like this. I feel like these are too thin for overnight. Like if you put it on before you go to bed, it doesn't last on your lips throughout the night. It sort of wears off very quickly because it's very thin. But I love it for during the day, just for a bit of a something. So Carmex I've been using for over a decade. I really enjoy. And I also used up 2 Pat McGrath mini lip balms. This is the clear one. I also used up a color one in my project pan. I don't know where that is. It went somewhere with the tinted SPF. The tinted products have disappeared somewhere. I don't rate these. I think they're okay, but for the price of them, not worth the money. They're just like, this was just a clear lip balm and the other one was just like a tinted lip balm. The color was nice, but you can get something very similar from e.l.f. So I wouldn't repurchase these. Let's talk about face cleansing stuff. We'll start with the first step of my cleansing routine. Cleansing oil, cleansing balms. I used one from Fourth Ray Beauty. This is the Bloom Service Rose Cleansing Balm. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite. It's cheap, but it's a bit cheap and nasty. I'd much prefer Pharmacy. This cherry one, I think if you don't like, this is limited edition. If you don't like fake cherry scents, this could be like, you know when the fake cherries sort of smell like marzipan a little bit? It had that kind of vibe to it. Wasn't my favorite. The original sort of green one, which is lime, I love it. I repurchased it. I even got the limited edition mini pack for Christmas, so I've got an abundance of Pharmacy cleansing balms. I think I got mine from Cult Beauty because you can't get them in Australia, but I love Pharmacy cleansing balms. You just use a little bit, it literally melts into a cleansing oil and then washes off completely, no greasy residue, takes off all the makeup, doesn't irritate my eyes, doesn't sting. I'm using a cleansing oil now that does sting my eyes and it's a bit frustrating, I want to use it up. But I like this, I didn't love the scent, but I would repurchase Pharmacy in a heartbeat, and I have. Mecca Cosmetica, this was a birthday gift if you're a Beauty Loop member. This is the Nourishing Cleansing Oil. It's quite a nice cleansing oil. Again, it was, you put it on dry skin, rub it into your makeup, it dissolves it, you rinse it away, it's all good. It did come with a cloth that you could wipe it off with, but I didn't feel like you need to because it didn't leave a greasy residue. It was nice, but I think you can get similar performing cleansing oils at a cheaper price point or in a bigger bottle, because I went through this very quickly. So my favorite out of those 3 was definitely the Pharmacy one. For more traditional cleansers, I used up my La Roche-Posay Effaclar. This one has the salicylic acid in it, so it's like the, instead of being the blue bottle, it's the green bottle. So it's a little bit exfoliating. It's a little bit exfoliating. I liked it. It was a little goes a long way. I think I use this for months and months and months and months and months. I love La Roche-Posay. Their products get along really well with my skin, so it's not a surprise. I enjoyed this cleanser. I would repurchase it. I've currently instead purchased a new CeraVe one because I really like those, but this one is one that I'd probably repurchase in a year's time and enjoy it and be like, yep, I know why I keep going back to it. It works. It's not like fancy, but it works. I also use the Paula's Choice Pore Normalizing Cleanser. This is for blemish prone skin. The other one was for blemish prone skin as well, and the salicylic acid helps clear up breakouts. This one I didn't see any great, it was just a basic bog standard cleanser, and I wouldn't pay Paula's Choice prices for such a basic cleanser. Speaking of which, another one that I forgot to hold up, Dermalogica. This is the Special Cleansing Gel, a mini size. I like this product, but again, bog standard cleanser and really pricey for a bog standard cleanser. Does it work? Sure, but it's a cleanser. A lot of cleansers work. So I probably wouldn't repurchase a big one of these. I think I have another mini in my sort of travel bag. I like it if it was in a pack, if it was on sale, maybe, but full priced, it's just a standard cleanser. I'd prefer to go La Roche-Posay, but I do like Dermalogica. This is sort of a cleanser, kind of not, it's a scrub. This is by Embachi. It's the Deep Exfoliant Pore Clarifying Skin Smoothing Microdermabrasion Exfoliating Scrub. I love this product. This was on sale. I have used it before and I loved it years ago. Saw it on sale, I thought I'll order one. It had free shipping. I was like, yeah, I'll order it, fine. Used it and I went straight back, and I think I ordered 1 or 2 more because I love it that much. This I love. I also used up their hand wash from my downstairs bathroom. So I'll put it there. Has a beautiful scent. I love the Embachi scent. But this one I love because it's very, very, very fine particles. It's like way smaller than sand. It's like a microdermabrasion. Very, very fine. It's white. You scrub it on, and if you use a small amount or you're very gentle with it, you can get a very, very light scrub. If you use a bit more and you're a little bit rougher with it, you can get a more sort of deeper scrub, and I just love it. This is like polishing. It makes your skin feel really smooth, takes off all that dead skin. I do like to use chemical exfoliants predominantly because it's better for my age range. When you're younger, you can get away with like scrubs. When you're older, your skin doesn't like it as much. So I tend to use chemical exfoliants, but sometimes you do just want to get something that buffs off the dead skin cells, and this is great. So I've repurchased it. I love it. It's great. Embachi's my favorite product from Embachi by far. I've been slacking on body products. These are sort of the only body products I've used up in the last 6 months, and it's not many. I got a little sort of deluxe size Brazilian Boom Boom cream from Sol de Janeiro. I didn't like this. Everyone raves about it. They love the scent. They buy the, I don't know, body mist and the perfume. It is obnoxiously, it's like a musky sweet, and it's not for me. So this was fine as a moisturizer, but it was just really strongly scented, and it was just a bit musky and overwhelming for me, so I wouldn't repurchase that. I used up a bio oil mainly because I was pregnant. Did it do anything to prevent stretch marks? No. Do I love bio oil? No. Why'd I buy it? I don't know. I think it was I didn't know what else to buy. So there's that. I used it up. I don't use it on a daily basis. This Nature's Bounty E oil is actually a supplement, a vitamin E supplement. So you're supposed to use like 5 drops a day, and you're supposed to eat it. I bought this and a couple other bottles off iHerb, and I use it as treatment for stretch marks and scars and whatever from pregnancy, and I think it does a great job. It's the only thing that sort of started fading down stretch marks. Like, they're still there obviously, but it does significantly fade them over time. This has a nice little lemony scent to it. All I do is put a little bit in my hands, rub it in, and spread it all around, and I feel like it's great. I have heard from people that, you know, have seen plastic surgeons or whatever, and the recommendation is take vitamin E capsules that you're supposed to eat, take the oil out and put it on whatever scar you have. So I just thought I'd order some online in a bottle, make it easier. I love it, it works great, and I have another bottle in my bathroom. If I need to buy more, I will. Yeah, nice body oil if you have scars or problems that you want vitamin E to help you with. 2 random La Roche-Posay products. Yes, I love La Roche-Posay. I buy it a lot. This is a Cicaplast Balm B5. This is the only size tube you can get in Australia. I hear overseas you can get a bigger tube. I want bigger tube because last week I literally bought 3 of these. These are great. If there's any rash, issue, dryness, something, I just reach for this. Whether it's on my baby, whether it's on my kid, whether it's on me, I use them. It's like the most multi-purpose, amazing, healing balm. I can't, nappy rash, tick, cradle cap, tick, anything, I use this. It's gentle, it works, it's amazing. I've gone through at least a dozen tubes in the last couple of years, and it's going to keep popping up in my empties, and this probably represents 3 because I use them all the time. So yeah, there's that. This one I wasn't so crash hot on. This is the Toleraine Ultra, I don't know how to pronounce, YEUX. This is an eye serum, and I didn't think much of it. Like, it's supposed to be gentle, which is good because I had sort of irritation around my eyes. It didn't heal anything, which, okay, it's not magic, so that's fine. A steroid cream helped me more, or like a prescription steroid cream. But what annoyed me is there's plenty of product in here. I just couldn't get it out. This little bag sort of holds it, and I couldn't get it out, and the pump wasn't working. So for some reason, this packaging, I couldn't get everything out, and it was annoying me. So I wouldn't repurchase it for the packaging, but there we go. More body products. I've got 2 body washes. I've got the Sunscreen Creamy Body Wash, Cucumber and Lemon. I did quite like this. It was kind of, I want to say creamy, even though it wasn't a cream. It was like a foaming body wash, but it was like quite nourishing and felt creamy. I liked it. It had a nice soft sort of citrus scent. I liked it. I haven't repurchased that, but if I saw it on sale, I would probably pick it up. And the Dermalogica Conditioning Body Wash. This was eucalyptus and lavender. I didn't think this was amazing, and I don't love lavender scented things. I thought this get a little bit too bougie. This falls into the probably overpriced Dermalogica category, where you can get something just as simple and basic for a lot cheaper, like the Sunscreen one. I would actually prefer the Sunscreen one. So Dermalogica has some cool serums and sunscreens and some nice products, but I just feel like for, yeah, basic cleanser or basic body wash, they're probably a bit overpriced, but you do you. All right, let's talk about some makeup before I talk about some hair products and some more body products. Makeup. I've got 2 4th Beauty little sprays. I've got the Glisten Up Illuminating Mist and the Fresh AF. I didn't really care for them. They weren't amazing finishing sprays. I would pass on those. For some base products, let's talk about base products. The e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, I hated with a passion. Would not use again. I used this up on my feet. That's how much I hated this. I just did not like it. Revlon Color Stay Combination Oily. I love this product. I think it's so great. I think it's been updated. I do want to try the new version, but I need to use up a few, what do you call them? Foundations before I do that. But it's something I've been using for like 15 years, and I keep going back to it every couple of years because I know that it works for me. This is the Shiseido, not cleanser, my brain is going crazy, concealer, and I liked it, and the shade match was perfect for me. The shade is 103 Fair. It was like the most perfect undertone, perfect match. My only concern about it was that it was sort of on par with Maybelline Fit Me concealer in terms of the consistency of it and how it sits on my face. I just thought for the price, which I can probably get the Maybelline one for, let's say, maybe like almost like a 1/10 of the price. Why am I buying this? So yeah, I liked it. It was good, but it was just marginally better than the Maybelline Fit Me. So I'll just buy the Maybelline Fit Me, even though that was great. NARS, this is the Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Light 2.75. I use this up in my project pan. I like this product. It's a nice moussey concealer that I can use under my eyes, around my nose, on my chin, whatever. It works really well. It works well as a touch-up product. I would repurchase this. I'm currently about to try panning another shade that I have, which is a slightly darker shade. I bought them before the shade extension, and I feel like there is a better shade match for me in the current range than what was available. So I'll sort of in between this Light 2.75 and the other one that I'm going to pan. So I'm going to try to use these up and then buy one with a better undertone. These are a little bit too yellow for me. So I like it, but like a lot of NARS products, they lean very yellow or pink, and the neutral shades I tend to add when the range is already successful and people are begging for shade extensions, which they've done with this. So I like it. I do recommend it. I would buy it again, but a different shade. Last base product, I've got Nabla. This is the Close Up Smoothing Pressed Powder in Light. I use pressed powders, I'm not shitting you, in like 6 weeks. This was gone so quickly. This was a nice powder. It was very finely milled. It gave a lot of coverage. And I don't like adding coverage with my powder unless I'm out and about and I need to touch up bits that are like wearing off. In my day-to-day, I actually like a very translucent powder or close to it, because I've put the amount of coverage that I want with my foundation or my concealer, and then I just want to set it. So this I probably wouldn't repurchase, but if I was placing a Nabla order, I might pick one up and have it as like a handbag powder, because the fine consistency of the powder and the coverage was really good for touch-ups. So yeah, it was nice, just not my everyday makeup. Talk about some eye products. I've got two mini Stila glitter, shimmer and glow liquid eyeshadows, one in Cloud and one in Kitten. These are sort of very shimmery liquid eyeshadows. They were sort of dried out, but I tried to fix them by adding things to them, and it was sort of hard to do. I like the effect of these. Cloud was particularly beautiful. It was this purpley shade with this like shimmer, like this gold sort of iridescence to it. It was gorgeous. But I don't use them fast enough, and they dry out, and that frustrates me. So I probably wouldn't repurchase them. MAC Stack mascara I didn't like. It was too clumpy, too bold, and I didn't love it. Very clumpy and very sort of wet and spiky. Didn't love it. I'm going to keep that though. And back to MAC that. Yay. NARS Climax Extreme mascara. This is a mini. I like this a lot more. It was a lot more volume, but it wasn't as wet. So it wasn't as sort of, I don't know how to describe it. This just brushed through a lot better and gave you more sort of fluttery lashes. Of course, you can build it up and get it clumpy, but I found the NARS one better than the MAC one in my opinion. I used up an e.l.f. Ultra Precise brow pencil. It's just a mini micro brow pencil. It worked fine, nice and cheap, had a brush on one end so you can brush it through. The shade was neutral brown. It worked really well with my eyebrows, so yeah, I would happily repurchase that, no problem. And then I also used up a Nabla Cupid's Arrow full color stylo. So this is a brown pencil. I mainly used it on my waterline, and it took me ages to use up. It was fine. It was a very thick pencil, so the actual pencil bit that you twist up, because it was a retractable pencil, was very big. So it's more for like smudgy, like put it on, smudge it out. That's not my style of eyeliner, so I wouldn't repurchase this, but it was a nice brown liner. It worked. I used it up, but yeah, the shape wasn't for me. And then for some lip products, I love both of these. I would repurchase both of these. I've got the Sigma Renew Lip Oil in All Heart, which is this beautiful mauvey sort of pink color. Love this. Glossy, wet, shiny, healthy looking lips. Whenever I wore it in a video, people are like, what's that? What's that? What's that? And I say in the description box. It's in the description box. But it was beautiful. If I was placing an order for Sigma products, I would totally repurchase that. Beautiful. And then the Linda Hallberg, or the LH Cosmetics, Pink Opal, Fantastic lip balm. I love this as well. So this I dug into. Same kind of mauvey pink color. Beautiful glossy effect. Sheer, but a bit of color. SPF. Beautiful. So this wasn't as wet looking and as translucent as the lip oil, but they both had the same sort of color, same sort of natural, plump, juicy beautifulness, just slightly different. I like them both. I've got a backup of this, but I would repurchase both of them because they were lovely. They were great. All right, hair products. Let's talk about some hair products. All right, so from Sur.Medic Art of Hair, I've got the Nourishing Protective Oil. I like this oil. It was nice. My problem was that it cracked down the bottom and a lot of it leaked out. It was, yeah, I don't even know how that happened. So I'm a bit reluctant to spend the money on this, knowing that the packaging isn't the best. But the product was very nice. It was good at sort of defrizzing the hair. It wasn't too greasy that it'd weigh down my hair. And it smelled gorgeous. It smelled so nice. I want to smell it just for the memes. Yeah, something about Sur.Medic's hair care. Their hair care smells amazing. So yeah, I did like this. I might repurchase it in the future now that I think about it. I just have to make sure that it doesn't fall down and crack and break because the packaging isn't the best. Batiste dry shampoo. This is Divine Dark. So when I wear a dry shampoo, it has to be a dark one. Otherwise, I look like I've got grey powdery hair. So I keep going back to this one because it's one that's consistently around. And that's all it is. Batiste, does it work? Sure. Some people hate it. Some people love it. I mainly just need something with the colour, and this is my one that I can easily find. So I will repurchase it, and I have repurchased it. I've got one of these, probably a bigger bottle in my bathroom as we speak. Lush Big shampoo. I like this shampoo. This is a clarifying shampoo. I've used it multiple times over the past 5 to 10 years. I occasionally buy one. I use it very, very sparingly. This is great if you need to clarify your hair. So if you've got a lot of product buildup, a lot of oils, a lot of whatever, you've been to the beach, you've been to the pool a few times, chlorine, this is like a second shampoo. Use it on already shampooed hair because otherwise it won't lather. If you have washed your hair and then you put this as like a second shampoo, it lathers beautifully, works through. It does have chunks of salt, which I don't think they need to have. I reckon if it was ground down a bit better, I'd prefer it. And I understand that it's there to like maybe like exfoliate your scalp, but similar to the Embachi scrub, which is a face scrub, I'd prefer smaller particles that are more of them, so you can get in there and sort of gently scrub rather than having big literal chunks of salt, like that salt down the bottom left over. So I love this product. I think it works well. It makes my hair really have it a lot of volume, really clean, really light feeling. I love it. It makes me want to go back and repurchase it now. So that is now on my wish list. The Kristen S, the One Signature Conditioner, don't really rate it. Didn't see any amazing things for my hair, but my hair is pretty crap, so it doesn't surprise me. And then lastly for hair, I use the Bumble and Bumble Dry Shampoo with French Pink Clay. It worked, but I don't think it worked so amazingly that I would spend Bumble and Bumble prices on it. I think it did leave a little bit of white cast, not as bad as normal Batiste, not as bad as other brands I've tried. And I think it was quite fragranced from memory, and it was a little bit like, I didn't love it. So I'm not going to repurchase that. And then the last few things, oh no, I've got some more hair products. Hey, hooray. I've got 2 little pouches of hair mask. These are from Davines, so my hairdresser, who I've seen her personally, but not professionally. Sorry, Madeline. Since April last year, because she lives far away from me and life is hard. So she stocks Davines and she stocks these, and these are little pouches of hair masks. I love them. They're beautiful. They make my hair feel really great. So I was sort of squirreling these away. Actually brought one with me to hospital when I had my baby. I was like, when I have the shower and I want to like make my hair feel nice. So I've been using these. I love them. They're nice little pouches, easy to store away, easy to reuse, because it's a mask, but if you don't use it all up, which I obviously don't do, this might be like 4 or 5 applications for me, it does have a little like lid that you can close, so you can use it once, put it away and pick it up again down the track. I really like these. I would repurchase them. And I love the format for mask because easy to put away, nice and neat. Take them out whenever you want. So the 2 that I have is the Purity Circle, which is supposed to get rid of like pollution and stuff, and the Let It Go, which is more of a relaxing hair mask. I don't understand. Different ingredients, obviously. This has grey clay and brahmi oil, and this has bamboo charcoal and matcha tea extract. So different ingredients, both nice. Like them both. Hooray. Onto a few randoms. I've used up a perfume. This was in my project pan. I love this. CK2 by Calvin Klein. Bring it back. Bring it back. Oh my God. It's like rain. It's like someone's just spraying rain on me. I love it. This is like my signature scent. I think when I found out it was discontinued, I bought 4 bottles of it. And the only reason I decided to pan this last year was because I could tell that this was starting to turn. This was the one I had out and I hadn't used for a little while. So I knew that I had 4 others, so I may as well use it up and open a fresh one, and I love it. So I haven't opened a fresh one yet. I'm still trying to pan a couple of perfumes first, but it's my favorite fragrance, and it's so sad that it's gone because it's just like aquatic, and I think one of the notes is pebbles. I don't know. I love it. CK2, you're the best, and you're discontinued, which makes me sad. I've used a Daiso Puff and Sponge detergent. I think I've used probably a few of these because I have washed a few brushes and I've gone through a few of them. So there's that. That probably represents a few bottles. And the No More Sweat Body Antiperspirant. This is a spray that you put on like twice a week, and it's supposed to last 4 to 7 days. So you don't need to wear deodorant. Put on at night before you go to bed. It's supposed to last you up to a week. I found I needed to apply it twice a week. I have repurchased this. It's not super cheap. It's like 18 bucks in Australia. And I feel like this bottle, you can use it up fairly quickly. But yeah, I did repurchase it. I found this really helpful when I was pregnant, because I don't know about you, but when I was pregnant, both pregnancies, I was just a lot smellier, a lot sweatier. So I needed more support when it came to stopping smell. So I would use this twice a week, and then I would occasionally use normal deodorant during the day, and it kept everything working and good and not smelly and awesome. So this is a very interesting product and a really interesting brand. If you have excessive sweating, which I don't have, when I was pregnant I was just a lot smellier, you can get like a foot and hand cream that's antiperspirant, so it does the same thing, stop sweating for a few days. You can get body lotions, so like under your boobs, back, whatever, if it's going to be really hot and you're going to have a presentation, you don't want to sweat, like you can actually use a body lotion that prevents it. There's also a face cream, so if you're going to a wedding and you don't want to get all sweaty, they have some really cool stuff. It's in Chemist Warehouse. It's an Australian brand. If you're interested in it, I would recommend checking it out, because yeah, I'd never heard of them before, and then I did, and I've purchased from them a couple of times. So there we go. That's the last thing. I like that. I have repurchased that, and that is it. No, I've got masks. I lie. 4 masks. A Nooks sheet mask. This is the Nooks White. I didn't really love it. I've got the Imbachi Rejuvenating Mask. I did like that. That was a lot nicer. I've got the Milk Makeup. These are cooling water eye patches. These are very cooling. They're gel. You put them on. They're very cooling under the eyes. I don't know how they work. They're magic. And they do depuff. So these I liked. These I recommend. Blue packets seem to be the go today. And I also, the other week, used my Milky Foot X Intensive Exfoliating Foot Pad. These work crazy well. I've been having quite dry feet. I wear a lot of sandals lately. And I was just like, I need to do something about it. So this, yeah, sheds all this dead skin. I feel like there's still like some hard skin that I like to get rid of, but this made like things so much better. And they recommend using this every 3 months. I don't think I've used one of these for like 3 years. So that's where the build up and stuff is. I'll have to buy some more and do it again in 3 months time, because these are very good. And I feel like Milky Foot, from my experience, is the most effective at, other brands shed the skin, but I feel like this sheds thicker skin, if that makes more skin. I think these are the best ones. So there we go. That's all my empties from the past 5 months. It's a lot. I will have on the screen how many products I talked about in my empties in 2022, which roughly reflects how many products I've used, because there are more that I use and forget to put in my empties basket, or whatever happens. So that is what I've spoken about. That's the amount of products, which is I think it's a lot. From just my gut feeling and what I'm seeing, it's a lot. But hopefully I do this a little bit more frequently, because 5 months is way too long. That's all I can tell you right now. Anyway, I'm going to get going, and I will see you in the next one.